Good morning. Your weekday kickstart is here. It's time to live, impact, value, and engage heart first. It's time for Live at 7:55 with Mitch Taylor.
Good morning. Welcome to Live at 7:55 for this Monday, April 13th. Thanks so much for joining me here for your weekday motivational kickstart. That is Live at 7:55. Good morning, David. Good morning, Chris. Morning, Jamie. Thanks for being here. Greatly appreciate your viewership as we kick off another Monday morning. This is your weekday motivational kickstart live at 7:55. Good morning, James Kelly. Happy belated birthday to you, sir. Morning, Wes. Tonight kicks off our very first, I know it's Jamie's first. I think it's Jamie's first. Good evening, Serge. Financial Peace University. And that is going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to being a part of this for the next 9 weeks as Jamie Bodie and I dive deep and go through each of the modules for people to really jump on board at what can be a major turnaround in their lives if they take this to heart and really put in the work. Good morning, Mike Walter. Morning, Russ. So if you haven't already joined us for FPU for tonight, starting at 6:30 over Zoom, Jamie or myself will pop the link into this video below so you can see it. Thanks for being here. So today we're going to talk about 3 ways to be the moon. And this came up in my Facebook memories today. And I thought it was so apropos, especially in these times and for my life even, that I share this with you here. So the number one way to truly be the moon is to inspire others even when you're far from full yourself. Think about it. The moon is there, and oftentimes it is far from full, right? It goes through each of its quarters, but it's still there. It's still shining a light. And that's what you can be, even if you're far from full yourself. In regards to maybe you're feeling downtrodden that day, maybe you're feeling out of sorts, maybe something just isn't right. You can find a way to be that sliver of light in someone else's day just by sharing a smile or whatever it might be. Morning, Rob Peters. Number 2, what does the moon do? It goes down every night, right? But it gets its energy and it comes back up. So you can draw energy from the day that you have, from moments that you're a part of with people. Draw energy from those to share with others, because that's what the moon does. You know, the moon goes down at night, quote unquote, recharges, and then comes back, right? In regards to the circle of the Earth here. I'm not going to get too into science here, obviously, but James, well done on the phases of the moon for us there. I appreciate it. And finally, if you think about it, sometimes, the third way here, sometimes the moon is the only light in the darkness. So everything else could be completely shitty to someone else's life. Everything else could be the worst, but you could be the one thing to keep that person going. And what a gift that is if you could be that. So be the moon is my message to you this morning, because the moon is resilient. Every night it goes, every morning it goes down, right? But every day it comes back up. Mike Walter wants to get a little juvenile with me this morning, and he asked, when was the last time you mooned someone? I can't remember the last time I mooned someone. I guess we'll end on a somewhat lighthearted note here, Mike. And of course, the other Mike Rakowski out of Green Bay. I think that's a good thought. But I do vividly remember, and this actually goes to what we're talking about today, so I'll just share this. I vividly remember my good friend, Eric Wagner, rest in peace. He and I were on our way to the Palace of Auburn Hills to watch a WCW show, a World Championship Wrestling show at the Palace of Auburn Hills. And then also, where were we at? We were at Pontiac Silverdome. We were at the Pontiac Silverdome. And who was playing at the Palace of Auburn Hills that night in Detroit? NSYNC was playing at the Palace of Auburn Hills. So if you know those two locations, they're not that far from each other, and you have to drive on I-75 north just to get to both locations. And we were in a parking lot in the freeway. It just come to a standstill because of so much traffic going to both the NSYNC concert and WCW at the time, which was all the rage in regards to wrestling. And I vividly remember Eric Wagner. He had made signs for wrestling and had a big dry erase board. And he was writing, not so positive things, or maybe some funny, crude things, if you will, on the dry erase board and holding out the windows and making people laugh. And he mooned a car during that trip, Mike. So that was a fun walk down memory lane for me, remembering Eric. And that's who my friend Eric Wagner was. He was absolutely a bright moon, if you will, and sometimes the darkest days. So I encourage you to be that for someone else whenever you can, and realize that you don't have to be fully charged. You don't have to be, this bright-eyed, bushy, always positivity to shine some light in someone else's world. You can be the moon. So that's it for today for Live at 7:55. Greatly appreciate your viewership. We'll be back tomorrow in another edition of Live. In the meantime, I strongly encourage you, especially in these times, go live, go impact, go value, go engage in a positive way. Be the moon. We'll see you tomorrow in another edition of Live at 7:55. See you tomorrow.
Thanks for watching Live at 7:55. To bring Mitch to speak to your organization, go to MitchTaylor.net. Now, go live, impact, value, and engage heart first.